Hello and welcome. We are on page number 41. We need to start this session by this illustration. Taxpayer Tolaram is a manufacturer. Is a manufacturer. So in principle, is the composition scheme applicable to a manufacturer? Yes, it is applicable to a manufacturer, and the rate is half percentage plus a half percentage, that is 1%, is the GST composition rate. Is having one unit A1 in Uttar Pradesh, another unit A2 in Madhya Pradesh. So in order to be eligible for composition scheme, all the units under the same PAN number should be in the composition scheme. The turnover of the two units, so aggregate turnover of the PAN number should be taken into consideration. Of the two units in the last financial year was 115 lakhs, that is 85 lakhs plus 30 lakhs. So in the preceding financial year, the aggregate turnover should not exceed 1.5 crore, so it is within the limits. The turnover of the unit A1 and A2 in the first quarter of this financial year was 5 lakhs and 10 lakhs. We know that the composition scheme taxpayer need not pay the tax for each and every invoice on monthly basis, as in the case of the regular taxpayer. The composition taxpayer can aggregate his turnover for the quarter. Then on that aggregate turnover for the quarter, he can apply the rate of 1% or 5% or 1%, as the case may be. Now in this case, Mr. Tolaram is a manufacturer, and so for him 1% is applicable. So how to answer this question? So he has two units A1 and A2, one in Uttar Pradesh and one in Madhya Pradesh. In the preceding year, the turnover is 85-35, therefore he will be eligible. Now in the first quarter, the turnover is 5 lakhs. So the tax will be 1% of 5 lakhs, 5,000, and 1% of 10 lakhs, 10,000. So in the state of Uttar Pradesh, he has to pay 2,500 CGST plus 2,500 SGST. In the state of Madhya Pradesh, he has to pay 5,000 CGST and 5,000 rupees SGST. So this is what is the obligation of Tolaram as far as the GST is concerned for Q1 of the financial year. Next, coming to para 6. This deals with the option to pay tax at concessional rate under a notification dated 7th of March 2019. We were famously calling this composition scheme as composition scheme number 2. The first composition scheme, what we were understanding, is with regard to the supplier of goods or the supplier of hotel service. But the second composition scheme, as provided in section 10 of the CGST Act and the rules they made thereunder, and the notifications as being given by the government on the recommendation of the Central Council, refers to or is applicable to a taxpayer who is predominantly supplying a service. So we will go into the nitty-gritties of this composition scheme number 2. First, let's understand the overview of this scheme. So we already understood in the composition scheme 1 that was available to only suppliers of goods and supplier of service who is doing restaurant service. Of course, marginal supply of other services either by the supplier of goods or by the supplier of restaurant service was permitted to the extent of 10% of turnover or rupees 5 lakhs, whichever is higher. This computation is to be made with respect to the turnovers of the preceding financial year. And also we understood that interest and discount received on deposits, advances and loans will not be taken into consideration while determining the threshold limit for the eligibility under composition scheme or for the eligibility of residuary or marginal supply of service. Now, this composition scheme which was introduced earlier was not applicable to the taxpayers who are predominantly supplying service. For example, a salon stylist or tailors, etc. So these people who are engaged mainly in the supply of a service were not eligible to the composition scheme 1. So what they have done is, for providing relief to those persons of small service providers, an option to a registered person whose aggregate turnover in the preceding financial year does not exceed rupees 50 lakhs of rupees and who is not eligible under composition scheme 1, they have been given an option to pay a tax at the rate of 3% CGST. So 3% CGST means 3% CGST plus 3% SGST. So total what is the effective rate of tax? It happens to be 6%. On the first supplies and of goods or service up to an aggregate turnover of 50 lakhs. Means in the financial year, if he is going to exceed the 50 lakhs, until 50 lakhs he will be paying tax at the rate of 6%, and on the balance he will be paying tax as per the regular scheme. Now this will have to be counted from the 1st of April, and also there are certain conditions which have been prescribed. So we will look into the conditions. So what are the conditions that are required to be fulfilled in order to pay tax at the rate of 3% CGST, 3% SGST as per this composition scheme 2? Normally, the conditions as are prescribed for composition scheme 1 are similar to that of, or the conditions prescribed for composition scheme 2 are similar to that of the composition scheme 1. However, there have been certain exceptions, means the number of conditions prescribed for composition scheme 2 are lesser than the number of conditions prescribed for composition 1. Now to be eligible for composition scheme 2, first of all, he should not be eligible for composition scheme 1. If he is eligible for composition scheme 1, he will go into that scheme. He need not come here. Right? Next, he is engaged in making supply which is not, he is not engaged in making any supply which is not leviable to tax under this act. Okay, so under composition scheme, restriction is only on supply of goods not leviable to tax. Okay, so he should not be engaged in making any supply which is not leviable to tax under this act. But as far as composition scheme 1 is concerned, he should not be engaged in supply of any goods not leviable to tax. Means non-taxable supplies should not be made. Right? That is first point. He should not be engaged in interstate outward supply of goods or services, both. But however, in the composition scheme 1, the person to be eligible for composition scheme 1 should not be engaged in making interstate supply of goods only. But here in composition scheme 2, the person should not be engaged in making interstate supply of either goods or services. That is second point. The third point is similar to that of the composition scheme. He should not be a casual taxable person or he should not be a non-taxable, non-resident taxable person. This is also same. You should not be supplying through an electronic commerce operator, and that fellow who is required to collect tax under section 52 of the CGST Act. This is also same. He should not be engaged in supplies of notified goods. We already know the notified goods. What are they? Edible ice cream and pan masala and tobacco manufactured tobacco products. Now he should not be engaged in supplying of these notified goods. And what is the other one? He should not collect any tax. He should not be taking any input tax credit. He should not be issuing a tax invoice. He should be issuing bill of supply. He should be issuing bill of supply. So almost all the points in composition scheme 1 and composition scheme 2 are similar. But for composition scheme 2 there are slight differences. Okay. And also in the bill of supply he has to mention that he is a taxable person paying tax in terms of notification number 2 of 2019 central tax rate dated 7/3/2019, and he is not eligible to collect tax on supplies. All these two lines have to be mentioned on each of the bill of supply which he is being issuing. Next. Also, the provisions of section 31 subsection 3 clause C. Now these provisions related to bill of supply. The provisions of bill of supply as contained in section 31 subsection 3 clause C will also apply to the person paying tax as per this notification. The concept of bill of supply we will be learning in our later chapters. Now we have to understand some other additional points in this composition scheme too. Now this is a point which is similar to a point in the composition scheme 1. Now if you have more than one place of business under the same pen with separate registration, then all those places have to pay tax as per this notification only. For one place of business having a registration with in Andhra Pradesh, what you can't do is you cannot opt for composition scheme in Andhra Pradesh. You can't opt for a regular scheme in Telangana. So if you are having different places of business with different registrations in different states, then under the same pen for all of them you have to uniformly adopt this same composition scheme. Now this person who opts to pay tax as per this notification has to pay 3% CGST and 3% SGST or UTGST on all outward supplies. Mind you, on all outward supplies. Okay, up to aggregate turnover of 50 lakhs from 1st of April in every financial year. Now it may so happen that you are providing 4 services. You are providing 4 services, out of which 3 are taxable services and 1 is exempt service. 1 is exempt service. Now what you have to do is you have to take aggregate turnover of all these 4 services and pay 6% tax. You can't claim that because this one service is exempt, I will not be paying GST on that one exempted service. It is not like that. You have to take the turnover of all the services, though they may contain taxable as well as exempt services. So for all the outward services you have to pay tax. Okay. Now you have to pay tax under reverse charge. 9394 are applicable to you. You can't escape 9394. Now, this point is also similar. What is that? In order to compute the aggregate turnover for the threshold limit of 50 lakhs, this interest and discount on deposits, loans or advances shall be ignored or should not be taken into consideration. Now, suppose if you are a registered person and means previously you are a registered person and you are paying tax at regular rate. You have also availed ITC, availed ITC, okay, on input services and input goods. Now you want to opt into this composition scheme. Now you want to opt into this composition scheme. Then what you have to do is you have to pay an amount by way of debit in electronic credit ledger or electronic cash ledger. So whatever input you have availed, that if it is lying in stock, then to that extent you have to reverse. And the balance credit available, if the balance in the credit ledger is not sufficient, you have to pay in cash. Now, if after paying the after setting off the money in the electronic credit ledger, if still if still there is some balance, that balance will have to lapse. It has to be lapsed. Now, how much you have to reverse? The ITC is to be reversed in respect of inputs held in stock, inputs contained in semi-finished or finished goods held in stock, and on capital goods as if the supply is made under this notification, and it attracts the provisions of section 18 subsection 4 of the CGST Act and the rules made thereunder. So previously you are a regular taxpayer, now you want to come into this and composition scheme 2, then whatever the stock is held either in finished goods or either as inputs or either as semi-finished goods, and also in respect of capital goods, whatever you have availed, if it is left in stock, then the proportionate amounts or the amount of ITC availed on such stocks held by you on the day immediately preceding the day on which you are going to opt for this composition scheme 2, you have to reverse. If there is no balance in your credit ledger, you have to pay in cash. If there is balance in your credit ledger, even after the reversal, still you are left with some balance, then you have to lapse it. Should lapse. Now, the provisions relating to input tax credit has been discussed in our later chapters. And also, what are all the CGST rules which are applicable for the composition scheme 1 taxpayer will equally apply to the composition 2 taxpayer also. Next, we have an explanation with regard to first supplies of goods or services or both. Means for the purpose of determining the eligibility to pay tax under composition scheme 2, you have 50 lakhs of rupees as the threshold limit. Now this 50 lakhs means first supplies of goods or service or both shall, for the purpose of determining the eligibility of person to pay tax under this notification, include the supplies from 1st April of a financial year to the date from which he becomes liable for registration, but the tax for the purpose tax payable shall not include the supplies from the first day of the financial year to the date from which he becomes liable for registration. Now this point we discussed in composition scheme 1 also with the example. Now let us take or let us understand once again with the help of an example this concept. Now you are going to be registered for the first time. For the first time, you are going to be registered. You are going to be registered. Now, 1st April 2019 to 30th June 2019, your turnover was 20 lakhs. So you did not get a registration. You did not get a registration. Now, on 1st of July 2019, you took registration and you started to provide service. So, are you eligible to take this composition scheme too? Yes, because on the date on which you are registering, the turnover what you have made from 1/4 2019 is only 20 lakhs, which is less than or equal to 50 lakhs. So you can take. But you have started providing the services. Now, from when will you pay the tax? You will pay the tax only from 20 lakhs 1 rupee only. You will not be required to pay tax on this 20 lakhs. Okay, you need not pay. From here you have to start. So from here, how much time you will be eligible until you reach 50 lakhs. Now this 50 lakhs is to be counted from 1st of April. So here, if you make another 30 lakhs, from here you will be out of the, so from the date of registration, once you make 30 lakhs outward supply of service, you will be out of this scheme. You will be out of this scheme. So that is what this paragraph say. That is what this paragraph say. So for determining the threshold, you have to compute the value from the 1st of April. But for payment of tax, you have to count only from the date of registration. Okay. Now, since we have completed all the or covered all the points in this chapter, the para number 7 is a revision sort of thing. So we will revise this entire chapter once. So what is the extent and commencement of CGST, SGST, UTGST, ITGST, IGST? Suppose you are in any state, suppose states of India. For them what will happen? CGST, SGST will apply for intrastate supplies. But for interstate supplies, IGST will apply. Suppose you are in UTGST, you are making intrastate sale, CGST, SGST will apply. But you are in UTGST and you are making interstate supply, then IGST will be applicable. This is with respect to union territories with the legislature. If you are in a union territory with what are union territories with legislature? This the state of Delhi and Puducherry. Now, what is a union territory? Union territories without legislature. For them, CGST and UTGST will applicable. For intra-state supplies, for interstate supplies, IGST will be applicable. Now, how the GST is levied? CGST is levied on interstate supplies of goods or service or both. IGST intrastate, CGST is applicable for intrastate. IGST is applicable on all the interstate supplies of goods or services or both. So, who can collect tax or on whom the levy is made? The levy is made on taxable person. The levy is made on taxable person. However, what are non-GST goods? Alcoholic liquor for human consumption is kept outside the purview of GST. How the value of supply is to be determined. Value of supply is to be determined as per the provisions contained in section 15 of the CGST Act. So what will be the rate at which GST is to be levied? The rates will be notified by the government on the recommendation of the GST Council. However, the maximum rate cannot exceed 20%. Means 20% for CGST and 20% for IGST. Sorry, for SGST. Now, the IGST rate will be equal to CGST rate plus SGST rate more or less, right? And the maximum IGST that can be levied is 40%. Now, there are certain goods which are not under the purview of GST, but they will be brought into the GST on some day in the future on the recommendation of the council with the notification by the government. They are these petroleum, crude, high-speed diesel, motor spirit known as petrol, and natural gas and aviation turbine fuel. So what are all the items which are not taxable or kept outside the GST as of now? Alcoholic for liquor for human consumption, it will never be brought into GST. Now petroleum, crude, high-speed diesel, petrol, natural gas and aviation turbine fuel are outside the purview of GST, but they will be brought into GST net on a future date on the recommendation of the GST Council by a notification by the government. Now, tax may have to be paid on reverse charge. Generally, the tax is payable on forward charge and it is levied on the supply of goods or service or both. However, in respect of those items which have been provided under section 9 subsection 3 or 9 subsection 4, this reverse charge is applicable and the tax is levied and payable by the recipient. And the government may also notify certain services, may notify specified categories of services. Understand, there is no goods here. Now the tax on which then those have been supplied through the electronic commerce operator, and the tax will be paid by the supplier, that is the e-commerce operator will have to pay tax. Now the best examples are radio taxis. Also we have section 10 which deals with the composition scheme. These are provided, this composition scheme we understood there are two composition schemes, 1 and 2, and why these composition schemes are included in the act, and these provide an option. So composition scheme is optional and is not compulsory, and these are provided as a matter of relief to the small taxpayers, and they will pay GST at a very low rate on the basis of turnover, and that too, and the rate will be low, and they will have simple procedures as compared to the regular taxpayers, and the calculation of tax is also simple. They need not classify the goods to know the different rates of GST that is applicable on various kinds of goods or services. For all the goods or services supplied by them, there will be a simple rate, and also the annual return will be simple and it will not be voluminous as compared to the regular taxpayer. Now, what is the procedure for opting the scheme? Now, if you are taking the new registration, you have to intimate in the registration form itself, and for you the composition scheme will apply from the date on which your registration becomes effective. Now, if you are already a regular taxpayer and now you are applying for or opting to come into composition scheme, you have to file a prescribed form in the common GST portal, and for you, you have to make the application before the commencement of the financial year, and the composition scheme will start at the commencement of the financial year, that is on 1/4. To be eligible for composition scheme, if you are in some of the In any of the special category states, the threshold limit in the preceding financial year should be less than or equal to 75 lakhs, and in respect of remaining states, the turnover in the preceding financial year should not exceed 1.5 crores, that is less than or equal to 1.5 crores. Now, what are the rates of a composition scheme? If you are a manufacturer, it will be 1%, half percent CGST, half percent SGST. If you are a supplier of food, it will be that is restaurant service, it will be 5%. If you are any other person other than manufacturer or restaurant service, you will be liable at the rate of 1%. Of course, this concession will come at certain conditions. Now, what are those? You should not be a casual taxable person, or you should not be a non-resident taxable person, and you have to pay the reverse charge as per 9(3) or 9(4), and you are not engaged in manufacture of notified goods, means this ice cream, pan masala, manufactured tobacco products, and you should issue only bill of supply. On that bill of supply, you should write composition taxable payer not eligible to collect tax on supplies, has to be written on that. And also you have to display at a prominent place in every place of business that you are a composition taxable person. Who are not eligible to opt for composition scheme 1? Now this is, we are revising the composition scheme 1. Now, if you are a supplier of service other than restaurant service, you are not eligible for composition scheme 1. Means predominantly you should be a supplier of goods. You should not be a supplier of goods not leviable to tax. You should not be a supplier of goods which are not leviable to tax. And supplier of interstate outward goods. You mind you, here it is only goods. Provider of interstate means out of state supply of goods. Next, you should not be a person who should be supplying through e-commerce operator who is required to collect a tax at source under section 52. You should not be manufacturing the specified goods, ice cream, pas masala and tobacco products. Also, you are a provider of goods and opting for this composition scheme, you should be provider of goods, or you should be a restaurant service provider. Now this person, goods fellow, can also do service marginally. This restaurant service fellow can provide other services marginally. What is the margin? It will be 10% of turnover in the preceding financial year, or rupees 5 lakhs, whichever is higher. And also for computing the threshold limit of 75 lakhs or 1.5 crore as the case may be, and also for computing these limits, the interest and discount on deposits, loans and advances should not be taken into consideration. You should not issue tax invoice, you should issue only bill of supply. You should not collect a tax, and you should not take input tax credit. This scheme has to be availed by all registered persons under the same PAN, and if you are not eligible to avail, and if you avail this scheme of composition, apart from payment of tax under the regular scheme for the contravention period, you may also land up paying penalty under section 73, 74. These sections we have learned, or the penalty will be levied under so and so section has been learned previously. Next, we will move forward to the composition scheme 2. We will revise composition scheme 2. Now this composition scheme 2 means you are not eligible for composition scheme 1, and you should be predominantly providing service, and your turnover should not exceed 50 lakhs in the preceding financial year. What is the effective rate? It will be 3% CGST, 3% SGST, therefore it will be 6% effectively on the first supplies. First supplies means you should be counting from 1st of April. Now, who will not be eligible for a composition scheme but eligible for means you are not eligible for composition scheme 1 and who you are eligible for composition scheme 2. Who are they? Registered person and aggregate turnover in the preceding financial year does not exceed 50 lakhs. Aggregate turnover will not exceed 50 lakhs. Now, who are the ineligible suppliers here? The ineligible suppliers is uh, wait a minute, I think we are missing something here. We might be missing something here. Just a minute. Yes, something is missing here. Here, any registered person turnover does not exceed 50 lakhs, and there is another box which is missing here. What is that? Who is exclusively engaged in supply of service other than restaurant service. Yes, so this was missing there. Now it has been included. Okay, so you are not eligible for composition scheme 1. How come you became eligible to composition scheme 2? Means you should be a registered person. Aggregate turnover in the preceding financial year should not exceed 50 lakhs, and you are exclusively engaged in supply of service other than restaurant service. Now, who is not eligible, or what are the ineligible supplies under this composition scheme 2? You should not be a casual taxable person. You should not be a non-resident taxable person. You should not make supplies not leviable to tax. And you should not make interstate outward supply of goods or services. Mind you, in composition scheme 2, you should not make interstate supply of goods or service, both. But in composition scheme 1, you should not make interstate supply of goods only. Okay, you can make marginal supply of interstate supply of service there. But here, interstate supply of service is prohibited. You should not be a person providing service through e-commerce operator. You should not be supplying the notified goods being ice cream, pan masala and manufactured tobacco. Now, what are the other points to be taken into consideration in the composition scheme 2? You should issue only bill of supply, you should not issue tax invoice, and you should not collect tax from the recipient, you should not take input tax credit. For all the registered persons having the same PAN, you have to adopt this notification. You can't go for regular tax for one registration under the same PAN and go for composition for another registration under the same PAN. In the same PAN, for all registrations, you have to go for this notification. If you are required to pay under reverse charge for 9.3 under 9.3 or 9.4, you have to definitely have to pay. And for the determining the threshold limit of 50 lakhs, you should not take into consideration interest on loan deposits advances. So friends, we have revised this chapter 2. Then we have test your knowledge. We will understand the test your knowledge or solve the problems in the separate class. For problems for every chapter, we will have problems class, and in that we will be solving the problems as given. And finally, we have this what you call amendments made in Finance Act 2000 number 2 Act 2019 with respect to section 10. But these items we have already, and these are already notified, these amendments have already been notified from 1st of January 2020, and we have already discussed these amendments at the time of the learning of section 10 per se. So with this, friends, this chapter is concluded. So as we have come to an end of this session, I will see you in your next session.